You're tuned in to Yeezy God Radio.
Run that back turbo.
Weezy out of here.
Jumped out of a wave, right into a daze. It can wreck your life, you gotta think twice. Put it together, the color I like. Know it look better whenever enticed. Powder, blue leather, whatever her vice. I'm melting. Too toxic. Baby, not vibing. I'm so surrounded. Hot in the sky, they can't reach. Fly with that stuff that's unique. Ride like Ferraris. I came out the mud like the cleats. Float like Muhammad Ali. Wave, I was born in the sea. Life for the party. Miami, we at the Star. I feed them, we eat calamari. Shit on these suckers, sorry, I'm not sorry. Order the PJ, I'm flying to Maui. One only get V-Long from Bari. She came with me once, had a wonderful day. Bitch wrote a book and put me in a diary. We fought on a boat, I'm a pirate. Admit it, I know you admire it. My diamond dead like parade. Left like a vendor door, same color shade. On your promotion, I give you a raise. Photo some potion, feeling intoxicated. Flow like the ocean, young, gonna go crazy. Tropical bitches, a hell with it wave. Put a big double M on my Mercedes. Got me some million, no minimum wage. I'm melting. Too toxic. So surrounded. Top floor, elevator entrance, not doors. Only thing above us is outdoors. Took it down in Houston to the Chachos. Took $8 million and started a bank. Top of the floor, man, it came with the rain. And you welcome, come party, the hell did you think? Juggle the beats, how I juggle the fame. And I gobble the pain when I swallow this drink. I grow my own gas in the back of the phone. Need the cover of town so my haters believers. I ran through these seasons with centerfold pieces. Flip the promoter just like we do pieces. Just run me my cheese, we don't wanna go grease ya. Hotline, turn the pipeline to a lifeline. Too toxic. Baby, not vibing. I'm so surrounded.
Flay.
And this beat from
You're
Cash,
tuned
not
in
from
to
YouTube.
Yeezy God Radio.
Bricks.
Ooh, fuck it up. I stole her heart, I stuck it up. I just be fucking the pussy, I left her, right her, uppercut. Yeah, bravados, yeah, Marys, yeah, my ops, yeah, can't get near me. Niggas wanna act like me, niggas wanna rap like me, niggas wanna flex like me, wanna count that chat like me. I thank God every day, he keep blessing me. Got no time for no hoes, they be stressing me. I don't do subliminals or sneak this. When I see you, let you know what it is. Anytime I shoot my shot, I don't miss. Anytime I shoot my shot, it gon' swish. Fuck it up. I stole her heart, I stuck it up. I just be fucking the pussy, I left her, right her, uppercut. Yeah, bravados, yeah, Marys, yeah, my ops, yeah, can't get near me. Niggas wanna act like me, niggas wanna rap like me, niggas wanna flex like me, wanna count that chat like me. I thank God every day, he keep blessing me. Got no time for no hoes, they be stressing me. Got no time for no hoes, that's a no. I got Gucci on my clothes, just not polo. Came in with Ghost Gang, I'm not Dolo. Bitch, you got a gang bang, ain't no solos. You only live once, at a YOLO. I hit her from the back and she yodel. Treat my dick like a blunt and she smoke. Call me by my government like I'm Cuomo.
Fuck you looking at me for? Broke ass niggas get repo. Hit little stain, tuck your chain. Pussy ass niggas get debo. Don't lose your life, tryna earn no stripe. That shit ain't worth it. Niggas get killed on purpose.
You're tuned in to Yeezy God Radio.
Just tryna get some bread. Just tryna get some. Just tryna shake the feds. I'm tryna do what I can. Everyone drag me under. These hate niggas want me dead.
Fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up. I stole her heart, I stuck it up. I just be fucking a pussy, I left her, right her, uppercut, uppercut. Yeah, bravados, yeah, Marys, yeah, my ops, yeah, can't get near me. Niggas wanna act like me, niggas wanna ride like me, niggas wanna flex like me, wanna count that chat like me. I thank God every day, he keep blessing me. Got no time for no hoes, they be stressing me.
You're tuned into Yeezy God Radio.
Alright. Airplane mode. Alright, let's cut the music. What's up, guys? It's going to Yeezy God. I'm back with another live stream. Chunky Dunky. Who's up? Nobody's up yet. We're up early. My TSB isn't working at all. Shot. I messed up the key. So that's an L. That's a big L. What up, everybody? You guys up? I know, I couldn't sleep, man. I couldn't sleep. Fucking Nate and Precise and all you guys. I can't sleep because of you guys. Because I feel bad for you guys. So I laid down. I tried to go to sleep. And I was like, why even bother? Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. We've been doing this. I invented sneaker streaming. I'm going to Tierno Yeezy God. I fucking love every single one of you in here. What up, West King? These kids, I can't sleep with these kids, man. They're going too hard on me. They dragging me through the mud on Twitter. It's crazy. What was that? So I fucking bought this shit bot TSB a couple days ago. Got it for retail. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm hearing mixed reviews. No disrespect to TSB. Just telling you what I'm hearing. So I've been hearing mixed reviews about it. And now I messed up my key, so I activated it on my Mac. I had it on there. And then I was like, you know what? I want the stream to see it. So let me activate it on the Windows. So then I was like, all right. This is like 2 hours ago. So I activated on the Windows. Updates better on Windows. It doesn't update good on Mac. Same with NSB. NSB updates like flawlessly on Windows, but not Mac. Mac, you gotta like reinstall it, click all those like prompts, like allow this, allow that. It's mad annoying. No, it hasn't dropped. We got like 3 hours. We got 3 hours. I figured I'd go live because why not? I'm fucking sitting here just being like, wow, I got this Nike bot that I can't use right now. So it's a fucking L for me. I'm a log. I only got 3 accounts anyway. So now I can't even buy accounts. So I'm fucked. But I hope you guys cook. All right. I'm not feeling lucky. I haven't been feeling lucky the past like week. The past like 3 weeks. Maybe a month. Almost a month. 3 solid shitty 3 weeks. This shit just died. This phone crashed. This is such a piece of shit. I bought this from my boy Joey. Joey, you fucking scammed me on this shit. Sent too many nudes or something. This thing is busted, bro. Just randomly shits out. So, Karma finna hit you hard this morning, G. That's a fact. That's a fact. We're gonna find out. If I get the W, then like Nate, if I get the W, I was right. If you get the W, you were right. That's how it's going. So right now, I only got 3 accounts. Is this shit playing? Alright. Sounds weird. I only got 3 accounts. Use 3 phones, the same Wi-Fi and credit card. If I get the W, you delete Wrath. If you get the W, I delete my tweets. Damn, bro. Damn. I don't know if that's fair. Supreme Koi Pieces drops this week. Kanye, the vibe 24/7. I'm only doing 3 accounts. Run on data so you don't get IP banned. Dead. I wish we had the dead emoji. YouTube's lacking on the emojis. YouTube's like kind of bugging out, honestly. It's not like keeping up to date. None of this stuff. Is this working? Yeah, this is kind of working. I don't know. I don't really like this layout. It's kind of shot. I haven't had time to really work on it. So, I'm going to do 3 different phones. And I'm going to do 1 from cellular service. And then I'm going to do 2 on Wi-Fi because I got no choice. 2 different Nike accounts. You really want to use totally different information. You really want to use like different people. Yeah, EU was a big L. There was like I barely saw any. I saw like 1 guy on Twitter. Couple people in the Discord got him. I think 1 was in Europe. It was like a raffle. He won. Sasawasa or whatever. Sasawasa, shout out to you, bro. And then somebody in Singapore won. But on Twitter during the drop, I was watching. I was like, nothing. Saw 1 guy get retweeted by the sneaker pages. 1 guy. That's it. 1 guy. 1 guy. It's 1 pair per household per yeah. I mean, bro, it's 1 pair like per lifetime. Like, don't even worry about getting more than 1, dude. If you get 1, like that's like it's 1 per century, bro. You got him, Ryan to Rich. You gotta tweet me. You gotta at me on Twitter. We don't believe you. We want to see it. You gotta at me on Twitter, and I'll put it on screen. Cause there's gonna be mad people capping in here. Sell you Wrath? Bro, I can't even sell it, bro. It's gonna expire, bro. I'm not like you, Nate. I ain't got money like you, bro. If I want to buy it, it's like $2,000. I gotta buy it myself, bro. Crazy. Tried for 2. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try for 3 technically. Imagine, like, oh my god, like, I would smash my phone. Like, what? Imagine you hit all 3. That'd be so nuts. This phone's deaded. This was Julia's mom's phone that she dropped, and then like it's totally shattered. But this one actually works pretty good. This one's shot. I'm trying to do it with TSB though, because I feel like I'll be more organized. Like, because you have all your accounts, you could check it. It's actually kind of cool to keep track of your accounts, because it'll say if your phone number is verified or not. And then it says Gucci, which I really like when everything's good. Yo, what up? Good morning. What time did they drop? They dropped for me in 10 a.m. Eastern time. So I got like 3 hours. What's good? You new? What up? What up, new people? Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We've been doing this for almost a year. We got to look up when Loonmark Reflectives dropped. That was the first live stream. So I think I have this phone. I think I have this one with like my mom's account that I made. And then my phone's got my account. That should be the biggest dub I took was the Strange Loves. And then I sold them way too early and took the L, so that was cool. I have to do a Ben and Jerry's ASMR, dude. Bro. Bro. Imagine I cop this. I'm not feeling lucky. I'm not feeling lucky. I don't even really want to stream it. I really don't want to stream right now. But I feel like I have to. So this one's on, I got this on my account. All right. I guess I should check for an update. I don't know if it matters. Might make it worse. Who knows? Imagine. That would suck. Sometimes I think about that. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't update it. Who knows? Let me see. Nike. I don't know. I don't know what the trick to copping with Snkrs app is, man. I don't know if there is a trick to it. I heard I'm learning more in the TSB Discord, like reading all their documents and stuff about the bot. They said like have different profile pictures for every single account, which I thought was interesting. Never thought of that. I never thought it like mattered, you know? You're gonna stream for the Travs? Yeah, you know it, bro. I stream everything, bro. Everything. I've never missed a stream. Except when I was sick once. 2 weeks ago. Now nobody fucks with me. Crazy. No loyalty out here. Crazy. Crazy. What are you going to do if you pick up a pair of chunky Dunkies? I don't get what rip or drip. Like, what's rip? Everybody said drip because they don't want to get flagged. I'm going to make sure my phone's up to date, I guess, with the app. Why not? Adidas app update, huh? Nah, there's no update, though. So this one should be good. So then I reactivated my dad's account. He's thrilled to get the emails. He's always like, why is Nike sending me these emails? How'd they get my email address? I'm like, dude. Dude. West King. We always hear, what up? Yo, what up, Kavya? What up, Nate? Nate, we love you, bro. I think I don't even have Snkrs app on this. I got it down. This is like a fresh phone. Fresh phone with the busted screen. So let me download Snkrs app. I'm going to log in my third account on here, and then we could just chill and wait it out. I don't know, unless I figure out how to get my TSB working. I don't know. Who got lucky? What'd you get lucky on? A Money Making Kid TV. You got lucky as fuck? Need some tunes? We'll play some tunes. I'm like so out of music, man. I don't know. I'm so out of music. Oh, man. Snkrs app. I don't know. People like, you guys have any superstitions about the Snkrs app? Something that you guys do? I know some people log in on the Nike app and like make sure they're logged in there or have it downloaded. I guess I might as well download it. This phone was fronting. This phone was telling me like 40% battery. Now it's saying 8. Houseway. Out of jewel pods. I got jewel pods. I got mad jewel pods on deck. You can probably see them behind me. No, if I move, they're over there. Somewhere. I think I like this angle better than the side. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out this new stream setup. Took an L. I got to make some upload videos too. Where to find the time for all this? I don't know. Did this shit download? What phone am I on now? I'm getting confused. All right, so this one's on my mom's account. This one I'm supposed to put on my dad's account. Hopefully it doesn't ask me to verify the phone number again because I just did it. And then I'm shit out of luck because I'm not going back. Log in. When does my wrath expire? I don't know. June? Something? Too soon, man. Alright, let me get my dad's account on this cracked phone. Okay. Error occurred? Yo, motherfucker. You can't get to the servers? Bruh. 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 I think I got a new bruh sound bit, do I? No. No, I don't. You'll check for me. Tell Wrath to give me a key, bro. Come on, Nate. I know you got connections, man. Tell him to let me buy one. Snkrs account. What's going on here? Why is it not logging in? They too strict, man. I smell the bagel shop cooking the bagels right now. Damn, dude. I just keep getting dismissed. Error occurred. Yo, that's shot. I might do it on the website then. I might log one in. Probably do that. Just as a backup right now. I should probably have... I haven't done the entered through the website in a minute. Nike.com/launch. Log this browser in on my mom's. Alright. Alright, so that's logged in. Download the app for Node. Okay. Now let me get my browser up. I'm gonna log mine in. My shit always wants to go to UK. I gotta clear my search history. Log in. No, I definitely don't want to use that account because I know because the TSB that phone number is not verified. So I'm not using that one. So I'm down one. I could have done 4. But I need like another phone number. Alright, so this one's logged in on my account. This one's logged in on my mom's account. Still got to get my dad's account in here somewhere. Put it on this one. Alright, Nike.com/launch. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing. I'm on my Mac. Log in. I already logged in on the site, so like what's going on here? Error occurred. Alright, let's try this again. Come on, Snkrs app. I can't sign up for Cop Date app either. That every time I try it says like, nah. Server's too busy. Maybe the crack in the screen is making me. Whoa. Yeah, this phone's shot, dude. I think what? Unable to connect to servers right now? Yo, they're like, nah. Anybody else having that problem? Anybody else having that? TGD? That was TGD. I have all my size preferences different. Yo, what up? What up? I have them all different. Tell Jason to leave me alone. Mid-transaction and the website crashed? Damn. Yeah, I don't know. I can't log in right now on this other account. So I'm going to do it from the website, I guess. Maybe I'll try later. I don't know. Definitely don't log out. Whatever you do. I should double check this account. Make sure that the card's in different name. Let me see. Settings. Oh, no profile picture here. Shit. I should choose a photo. What do I got? Some crazy photo. Okay. Perfect. Shoe size. Everybody's gonna go for big sizes. Jay go crazy? I got 3 accounts. All I have is 3. I'm scheming up on my Nike game. I'm being the Nike god soon, yo. Everybody's gonna be pissed when I change my name to the Nike god. But you sold out. You used to be the Yeezy god. Now you're the Nike god. Oh my god. How could you? How could you? You just set everything on fire. Let's see. Shoe size. What should I do for this one? I always have them like all on different default sizes. Man, what should I do? This is a hard one. Shit. What size are you guys doing? A lot of people are going big because everybody goes small. I'm gonna have each account like one smaller, one medium, and one larger. Yeah, a lot of people going 9 to 12. It feels so wrong to not pick 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, or 9. It feels so wrong. But it's like shit. Like which one do they have more of? Do they have more 7s or more 7.5s? Who knows? 7 to 12. Some ASMR jeweling. Huh. Stock rumor? I don't even think there are any rumors. The rumor is that there is stock. That's the rumor. We don't even know if there's stock. Payment information. I feel like I have my payment information like messed up on here. I gotta double check that. Let me see. No, it's the right one. Well, definitely put a profile picture. Put a profile picture. If you don't have a profile picture on your account, I'm doing that now on all of them. I think I did that to my dad. He took the funniest photo on Facebook the other day. He put up this photo. Oh my god. I used it for his account. It's hilarious. I got no purchases with my mom's account. Not one. So it's due. It's due for like a winner. Come on. Moms be cooking, man. Moms don't just cook. They cook. Say, you heard it here first. Can't log in, dude. Don't log out. Like I cannot log in my dad's account. I know it's logged in on his phone, but like that's not here, so that's no good to me. And calling him and making him do it, he's gonna get so cranky about it. But I don't know what to do. So I can't do that. I guess just keep trying. I mean, this probably, you know what's happening right now is like all the bots are trying to sign in like 10 million accounts at this very moment and create and generate cookies because it's like 2 hours before. That's what's happening. I got it logged in on TSB, but it's gonna quit on me in 30 seconds. I can't figure out why. I don't know why it's doing it. I tried to DM some of the owners, but they're probably super busy. Mom's cook. Grandma's cooking. Grandma's cooking. Kanye saying something sad. What are you sad about? You said Nate's not around? About to get your mom's account? Yeah, like, I don't know. Better try. I should try this other phone. I got this other phone here. This shit always dead. Maybe it's logged into my dad's account. Now the phone number's verified, so like that's Gucci. I should copy paste this. Okay, let's give it a shot. No, error occurred. Yeah, the Canada drops are different. You guys don't have the Snkrs app, right? You guys have the website. So you could actually bot. Like, people in Canada cook Nikes. Just made another Nike account. How you got these phone numbers, bro? How you doing it, Nate? What's your secret? Let me try continue as guest. I'm gonna continue as, alright, I continue as guest. This phone is so busted. And then I'll try to log in. Then I'll go to account, log in. Paste. No. No. About to cook? Bruh. That would be nuts. That would be nuts. If I cook, I'm changing my name to Nike God. That's it. That's it. Text apps don't work. They don't verify. Like 90% of them. I tried every single one that I could find. Let's go desktop. Man, I smell the bagel shop cooking bagels right now, dude. Man. Alright, let's get some chunky dunkies up here. Let's get some. What up, stream? What up? What up? Let's keep that going. Where's my chat? Shout out to Leaf Proxy sponsoring the stream. Use code YeezyGod. 20% off everything, all the time, anytime. I gotta get used to saying that. Big L. Yo, Europe was crazy, dude. Europe, like, I didn't see any. I saw one guy. Let's see. Lucian cherries. Yeah, that looks good though. Let's see. I saw one guy. Restock? Fuck, man. No way. Should have sold mine. Canada was at 6, right? It was like an hour and a half ago. Let's see. Derby cooked them in Singapore. And then Salsa Wasa was a while ago in a raffle. Let's see. Trap King, what up, bro? What up, West King Manual Gang? Yo, we're going straight Manual Gang today. Straight Manual Gang. What size you guys went for? These are crazy limited. The Supreme Zippo lighter might restock this week. The glow in the dark one. I don't know. I got 2. Just chilling. Better chance. Yo, definitely better chance than Travis Scott's. Definitely. Yo, that Travis Scott stuff with Mick Foley is crazy. That wrestler guy had a restaurant right here that like just closed. Right outside. Mick Foley. He lives in my town. It's crazy. It's too funny. I was like, Mick Foley? And Brad Hall? Brad Hall the GOAT. Like what? Straight Manual Gang, boy. Straight Manual Gang, 2 accounts. Let's fucking go. Let's go. A lot of grandmas are going to be in this today. A lot of moms, a lot of dads. A lot of sisters and brothers. Aunts, cousins. Long lost relatives. Everybody's going to be on Sneakers app today. Travis Scott go down in value. What are they doing right now? I haven't even looked. Shout out to the new subscribers. Is it on StockX yet? I have my dog press submitted on it. Chris got his dog cooking. Is it drawing the app or website? It's a draw. It's a draw, right? It's gonna be a shit show, bro. The whole thing's gonna collapse. I can't even get into this account still. Oh, what? This phone's dead. Damn. Alright. Cactus Trails. There we go. Huh. I mean, if anybody can make a 270 cool right now, it's definitely Travis Scott. They're going to be dope now. It's crazy. So 1,000, 800,000. Man, these are so crazy. They have like fleece on them. Incredible. Are they going to go down? Yeah, I'd say so. $1,000. They're really cool. They're really cool. I like them. But I don't know. They're probably going to go down. Like, I mean, 750, 600, 500. I don't think they'll go lower than 5. Unless people just aren't really vibing with it after. But they're unique. They're definitely really cool. I don't know. It really depends how many pairs they put out. And, like, how people look at it after the fact. I don't think it's the most iconic Travis Scott sneaker, but it's definitely fire. They've all been fire. So, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely think they're going to drop. Like, the ones that are 1,000 are going to drop for sure. I can see them being at like 500, 600. Still crazy good. Nah, Chunky's in 2 hours. 2 hours. Chunky's in 2 hours. Chunky's in 2 hours. We got like mad time. Whoa. Just reset this. We got so much time. I wish I could get TSB working and try it, but hold on, I gotta add some stuff here. Hold on. What else I want to put? What else? What else? We'll do that. Man, I need to get a bagel, dude. They smell too good. Let's add that. Let's get rid of that. All right, save that. All right, cool. Less demand for kids. Men's shoes or kids' shoes? I think men's shoes. I think girls are going to be vibing with this too, though. So some base sizes. Yeah, the off-white Jordan retros. Yeah, I saw that. I seen a Friends and Family 270 that looks hella different. It's pretty cool. I'm definitely going for as many as I could buy. Hopefully one would be lit. 1 to 2 months, yeah. Yeah, I would grab it and hold it. I might buy some of these chunky Dunkies if they drop, if price drops. I don't think it's gonna drop. It's not looking like it's gonna drop much, but if it did drop to $800, $1,000, what? Brazil Dunks are W. I'm trying to get those baby blue and white ones. Yo, those are so fire. I'm trying to get those. John Smith, you even got the security guard at the building going in. Damn. That's legit. That's legit. Let me see. Sneakers. I gotta get this other account logged in, man. I need 3 chances. What is this logged in? Oh, it is logged in on my dad's. Let's go. Oh my God, let's go. That is perfect. That's so perfect. All right. Perfect. So then that fourth phone, if I verify that other account I have, then I could get that going. But which one is it? It's the broken one. The broken one. That's right. Okay. All right, so I'm ready. I'm ready. They're going to drop at 10 o'clock. 2 hours. Yeah, the Quantums. They're dope. They're really dope. They're really dope. Man. By 10:15, we're going to know the fate of this. The shoe's so crazy. Man. I should try my TSB. Let me try that. Let me try it again. Because I'm locked out of it. No. It's not going to work here. And then on the PC, it'll work, but it'll close out in like 30 seconds. It just won't deactivate properly. And it won't activate properly. No. Nah. I don't know. I gotta get in touch with TSB people. What's good? What's good, Brandon? We waiting around, bro. The Travs? Yeah, they're definitely gonna do something crazy. We'll be ready for it. We'll be ready for it, bro. I'll be live. Music? We can put some music on. I gotta grab a bagel, bro. I gotta get something to eat. I'm so hungry. I got no energy. Let me put some music on.
Run that back, turbo. Weezy out of here. Weezy out of here. Weezy out.
Jumped out of a wave right into a daze. It can wreck your life. You gotta think twice. Put it together, the color I like. Know it look better when
You're tuned into Easy God Radio.
whatever advice. I'm out to
That's good. I'm a cop a bagel. I'll be right back. Let me mute them.
I'm so surrounded. Hot in the sky, they can't reach. Fly with us, that's unique. Ride like Ferraris. I came out the mud like the cleats. Felt like Muhammad Ali. Wave, I was born in the sea. Life for the party. Miami, we at the story. I feed them, we eat calamari. Shit on these suckers, sorry, I'm not sorry. Order the PJ, I'm flying to Maui. One only get V-Long from Bari. She came with me once, had a wonderful day. Bitch wrote a book and put me in a diary. We fought on a boat, I'm a pirate. Admit it, I know you admire it. My diamond then like parade. Back up in the door, same color shade. On your promotion, I give you a raise. Put on some potion, feeling intoxicated. Flow like the ocean, I'm gonna go crazy. Tropical bitches, a hell with it wave. Put a big double M on my Mercedes. Got me some million, no minimum wage. I'm not too toxic. Baby, not happy. So surrounded. Top floor, elevated entrance, not doors. Only thing above us is outdoors. Took it down in Houston to the Chachos. Took $8 million and started a bang. Top of the floor, man, it came with the rain. And you welcome, come party, the hell did you think? Juggle the beats, how I juggle the fame. And I gobble the pain when I swallow this drink. I grow my own gas in the back of the phone. Need the cover of town so my haters believers. I ran through these seasons with centerfold pieces. Flip the promoter just like we do pieces. Just run me my cheese, we don't wanna go grease ya. Hotline, turn the pipeline to a lifeline. Too toxic. Baby, not happy. I'm so surrounded. Flay.
And this beat from Cash, not from YouTube.
Ooh, fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up. I sold her heart, I stuck it up. I just be fucking the pussy, I left her, right her, uppercut, uppercut. Yeah, bravados, yeah, Marys, yeah, my ops, yeah, can't get near me. Niggas wanna act like me, niggas wanna ride like me, niggas wanna flex like me, wanna count that chat like me. I thank God every day, he keep blessing me. Got no time for no hoes, they be stressing me. I don't do subliminals or sneak this. When I see you, let you know what it is. Anytime I shoot my shot, I don't miss. Anytime I shoot my shot, it go swish. Fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up. I sold her heart, I stuck it up. I just be fucking the pussy, I left her, right her, uppercut, uppercut. Yeah, bravados, yeah, Marys, yeah, my ops, yeah, can't get near me. Niggas wanna act like me, niggas wanna rap like me, niggas wanna flex like me, wanna count that chat like me. I thank God every day, he keep blessing me. Got no time for no hoes, they be stressing me. Got no time for no hoes, that's a no. I got Gucci on my clothes, just not polo. Came in with Ghost Gang, I'm not dolo. Bitch, you got a gang bang, ain't no solos. You only live once, tell a YOLO. I hit her from the back and she yodel. Treat my dick like a blunt and she smoke. Call me by my government like I'm Cuomo.
Fuck you looking at me for? Broke ass niggas get repo. Your little stain, tuck your chain. Pussy ass niggas get debo. Don't lose your life, tryna earn no stripe. That shit ain't worth it. Niggas get killed on purpose. I done seen niggas get killed for nothing. Just tryna get a little something. Just tryna get some bread. Just tryna get some. Just tryna shake the feds. I'm just tryna do what I can. Never wanna drag me under. These hate niggas want me dead.
Fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up. I sold her heart, I stuck it up. I just be fucking the pussy, I left her, right her, uppercut, uppercut. Yeah,
Bravados, yeah, Marys, yeah, my ops, yeah, can't get near me. Niggas wanna act like me, niggas wanna ride like me, niggas wanna flex like me, wanna count that chat like me. I thank God every day, he keep blessing me. Got no time for no hoes, they be stressing me.
Put that bitch on airplane mode. In the party and I got my pole. You a lane, need to play your role. Yeah, my pistol on go. My bitch on go. They know I'm about to blow. Yeah, bad bitch off the blow. Yeah, she on go. My pistol on go. Yeah, and my pistol on go. My bitch on go. They know I'm about to blow. Yeah. My pistol on go, my bitch on go, my bitch on go. New phone, yeah, I'm going ghost. Put that bitch on airplane mode. In the party and I got my pole. You a lane, need to play your role. Walk up with a bitch, I don't even know. And I walked out with a Montclair coat. Yeah, my pockets on that payload. Out of country, yeah, just to do a show. On the highway, going so fast. Yeah, my money fat and my bitch bad. I was down bad, now I'm getting cash. Dress up undercover, yeah, all black. You pull up in Honda, I pull up in Jack. Yeah, you flexing cash, you can get jacked. Chopper tucked inside a bit, Louis bag. I get to the bands, yeah, I love to brag. Had to quit them Zans, Perkies get a pass. Yeah, she on go. Pistol on go. Yeah, she on go. Bad bitch on go. Block it on go. Pistol on go. Bitch she on go. Yeah, my bitch she on go. Pistol on go. Bitch she on go. And she off that coat. Yeah, you know I'm about to blow. Yeah. Did this all alone, I'm so handy. Spin a sound, no time.
Alright.
I'm in Rick Owens, I'm
We
so
back.
fancy.
We back. We copped the bagel. Copped the bagel. And I copped the bacon, egg, and cheese.
And that pistol on go. Yeah, my bitch on go.
Crazy you gotta wear a mask now. Like, it's so
And my
crazy.
bitch, she on go. She going off the coat. Yeah, they know I'm about to blow. Yeah. And my pistol on go. My
Site
bitch
crash,
on
site
go.
crash. Yeah, I couldn't log in. Luckily, I had this other phone logged in, but
We got
couldn't
guns,
log in.
we don't fight. We can have a war, big gunfight. And that pistol, yeah, on
what we got?
go.
What we got?
And that pistol, yeah, on go. And that pistol, yeah, on go. I finesse some out his Rex and bought some Bitcoin. You can't pull up.
Wow, it was only 3 songs. Wow, that was pretty fast. I was fast. No mess. Florida's normal. No mess required. Anything live? No. This all happened at 10, man. This happened at 10. I copped the bacon, egg, and cheese. Where's my screen? I copped the bacon, egg, and cheese right here. All right, serious pickup. Serious pickup. New York. I'm in New York. This is a real bacon, egg, and cheese. This is a real bagel. This is the real shit. This ain't no feezy. This ain't no fake shit, all right? Ain't no foo-foo bagel right here. This is the real stuff. Let's do a little unboxing. Oh, light. This one's light on the toppings. Light on the toppings. But let's get a close up. Yeah, light on the toppings. Let's see. Cream cheese. Cream cheese. Solid, though. Solid. Definitely light on the toppings. A little disappointed. Not the best one I've ever seen. Now we got bacon, egg, and cheese. SPK, salt, pepper, ketchup. You know the vibes on a roll. On a roll. Let's get the unboxing here. What you eating for breakfast right now? Hit me in the chat. Oh, shit. You can't even see this. Woo! We gotta get this in focus. Damn. What? Look at that. Come on, get in focus. I don't have enough hands. I need Julia. Wow, though. Look at the cheese on that. Looking solid. Solid amount of cheese. Looking good. Green peppers? You guys put green peppers on? I never heard of that. We gotta put some music. What do you guys want to listen to? You want to watch something? You want to listen to something? We got like 2 hours. We got 2 hours. Maybe we'll watch something. There's really nothing to set up except breakfast. Let me know what you eating for breakfast. Let's see. What was something I watched recently? I'm watching this Company Man stuff. That's actually been super interesting, but it might bore you guys because it's about like how businesses developed. Traveler Ross is always a good one. Oh, how about the Drake Off-White plane? This is a good one. This is a classic.
Freshest star Drake, who was seated next to Branson, talked about having a plane named after him.
Flying on Air Drake is very humbling. I'm truly honored to have a plane named after me. Virgin, I think, is one of the most incredible airlines. The atmosphere it's so soothing, and I always really attempt to fly.
Can you guys hear it good enough?
As much as I possibly can.
I know only too well how devastating the news today will be to you all.
I need to find a picture. I need to doctor some pictures of Joe Biden and Drake and Jeffrey Epstein hanging out together on Drake's plane. They're all hanging out together on the Drizzy plane.
You're fucking hilarious.
Express.
Oh my! on the Off-White plane.
Oh, I love you too, Robert.
Plane. That's what they gotta be on.
That Off-White plane's sus as fuck because he's only painted that as clouds so that people can't see him flying in the air with all those young chicks on it.
Holy shit!
Hey, this is
Drake, we do not go sign this.
Hey, this is
the fact that he had this fleet of planes. We've heard a lot about the Lolita Express.
I don't have to worry about fucking Drake sending the OVO goons at me.
Yeah, that is kind of part of the benefit of being over here.
Kanye West much dank.
This is your captain speaking. I'd like to welcome you all aboard the Air Drake, the most sus airline in the sky since my previous employer Jeffrey made bedsheet brownies in jail. Now, we're currently cruising at an altitude of 69,000 feet, and shortly our lovely and young stewardesses will be bringing around a selection of refreshments, alcoholic beverages, and sedatives. For any of you flying amongst us that would like to be out like a light for the flight. In fact, the Xanax for this flight has been kindly provided by Cosby Airlines since they've been grounded since 2018. Anywho, if this is your first time flying on the Lolita Express, Air Drake, let me give you some background history on this illustrious airline. Now, although today we're flying on the Air Drake, you would be a sucker for thinking that Drake owns his own plane or even his own airline. In fact, this plane that we're flying on today actually comes courtesy of Cargojet, a Canadian shipping airline that has
Drake doesn't own the plane.
Use of this plane as part of a deal. In fact, any of our eagle-eyed passengers might have actually spotted their logo tucked away behind the wing. Now, this particular plane, a Boeing 767, is normally a passenger plane fitted to fly around 350 people. But of course, for the Air Drake's requirements, it's been reconfigured to carry only 30 passengers in the height of luxury. But of course, such luxuries do come at a humongous cost. And no, I'm not talking about the enormous environmental cost of operating a 350-seat commercial airliner for only 30 people, because worrying about the environment is so 2019. I'm sure you're guessing that this is a very expensive plane that we're flying on now, and wild speculation on the potential cost of this particular plane has led to some eye-watering figures. For example, CBS News reported that the cost of a brand new Boeing 767 could be anywhere from $80 to $185 million, and that's without customization. Combine that with the cost of renovating this plane, which has been rumored by reports from E! News to be anywhere from $80 to $100 million. But unfortunately for Drake's image, as an experienced aviation expert or just everyday user of Google, I can confirm that that is complete skycap. Because despite the fact that Drake's Boeing 767 has been flexed as costing $185 million new off the lot, it's actually been suggested that this type of used 767 that Drake has been flying is likely to cost a lot closer to $10 million. In fact, this particular Air Drake plane that we are flying on right now is 23 years old, likely a point of great disappointment to Drake, because as we all know, it's rare to find him inside of anything over 17 years old. So not quite as balling as it sounds. And so you know what a 23-year-old plane means? A 23-year-old safety video.
Thank you for choosing to fly Air Drake, a division of OVO Airlines borrowing clout from Cargo Jet. Once you board the Air Drake, ensure that your seatbelt is securely fastened. The seatbelt must remain fastened for the duration of the flight. Seatbelts cannot be unfastened by anyone other than Drizzy Drake. Attempts to unfasten your seatbelt before Drake is ready to play with you may result in you being ejected from the
Bro, he
plane.
goes hard
And
on Drake
as
in
there's
this
no
video,
Wi-Fi
like
on
too
board
hard.
this plane due to it being built before Wi-Fi
Bro,
was even
I got the
invented,
bagel right
on the
here
Air
on
Drake,
deck.
in-flight entertainment is provided in the form of fresh farts from Drake himself. You can begin huffing Drake's farts by simply pulling the overhead mask to your face to begin the flow of fresh smells from the stink god himself. Ensure that you've attached your own mask before helping younger girls on the flight access Drake's bum gas. The Air Drake is fitted with 8 emergency exits, 7 of which have been sealed
he's
shut.
crazy.
So in order to exit the plane, you must perform a minimum quota of sexual favors for Drake or the OVO crew. Drake himself is known to prefer the doggy style position. In the very likely event of an emergency landing on water, a Virgil-designed off-white life jacket is located underneath your seat. Ensure to fasten the life jacket fully before jumping to your death. Unfortunately, due to being manufactured in the 80s, these lead-based life jackets will likely cause you to sink faster than you would have without it. In the unlikely event that you survive the plunge, you will find a small mouthpiece in the life jacket that will allow you to huff some of Drake's older farts stored inside the life vest. Thank you for choosing to fly with Air Drake, where we always put drip over safety.
And even if you're
What,
impressed
Brandon?
by the $10 million price
Good morning,
tag
bro.
on this clout-powered electric bird, you may even be surprised to find out that in reality, Drake didn't pay a penny for this clapped-out winged death machine.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
Skillshed, where I learn all my things. 30,000 classes are growing. It's a membership with meaning. Learn about business design.
Learning. Hit that link in description, baby.
Now, Drake shared an extended montage of the plane being put together in his presence. And in the video, he nods to AJ Virmani.
That got me happy right there. That's the man. That's the man.
The CEO of Cargo Jet Airways, and apparently good friends with Ludacris and a whole bunch of other Toronto sports stars. In fact, Drake had even been pictured out for dinner with AJ all the way back in 2016, assuming using that dinner as an opportunity to grovel to his sugar daddy for a free plane. Hey, AJ, dog, please let me have a free plane to flex in, dog. Hey, dog, Epstein's plane is so dope, he's got a candy machine and everything. I take the cheapest, least safe plane you have, dog. It doesn't even need Wi-Fi, dog. And to that, I guess that AJ said, okay. And so it turned out that AJ, boss man over at Cargo Jet, hooked Drizzy up with his very own plane, or teen transporter as Jeff used to call them. And so it was kind of funny in that very first video, revealing the plane, that Drake bigged up the fact that there was no rental, no timeshare, fronting as if he'd walked into the Boeing dealership and bought this bitch straight cash.
Bro, his plane has no Wi-Fi. He's
Well,
gonna
that's
get
a
to
straight
it.
cap. because AJ made it clear that having this plane was part of a public partnership between Cargojet and Drake, with the company putting out an official press release announcing this partnership, describing Drake as a brand ambassador, and stating that the firm will assist him in his logistical needs and requirements, i.e. free motherfucking plane. This was likely
Sneakers
intended
at
to be
Bravo.
some sort of mutually
10 o'clock.
beneficial partnership so that Drake could go on tour in the plane, continually bigging up Cargojet, with AJ basically trying to use Drake and his plane as a free Cargojet billboard that would fly around the world on tour. Drake has actually described the partnership himself on Twitter as something that he was excited about because he'd always wanted to get involved with a homegrown Canadian business. Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, Drizzy, but Cargojet was formed out of the acquisition of another Canadian airline called Canada 3000 that was bought by your sugar daddy AJ back in 2001, which itself was simply an offshoot of the now defunct British airline Air 2000. So you know what that means? Even Drake's plane is a culture vulture. Woo! However, it is kind of unclear specifically what Drake's side of this partnership looks like, or whether it's still even going to be viable following this health crisis. But it has been widely reported that Drake's use of this Cargojet plane is completely for free. And it's got to make you wonder, I mean, how much does Cargojet really have to gain on a corporate level from Drizzy just flying around the world in a free plane that's got a tiny little logo under the wing? Or who knows, perhaps this is just an opportunity for AJ to give something back and spend more time with his favorite sugar baby Drizzy Drake. Because I mean, let's be real, by the time Drake was done customizing this thing, it had so much bespoke Air Drake branding that it completely overshadowed any kind of involvement or partnership with Cargojet at all. I mean, how much corporate business can they really expect to drum up with that tiny Cargojet logo tucked away behind the wing like a corporate tramp stamp on Amber Rose's lower back? Hey, maybe she should partner with Cargojet. So let's be real, I mean, everyday Drake fans are probably completely unaware that this plane is a partnership with Cargojet. The plane features Air Drake in giant letters on the engines. At first instant, it was adorned with an enormous OVO owl, and it even had the Six God's signature praying hands on the tail fin. Praying hands that will probably come in handy for Drake, seeing as the kind of clapped out old planes that Cargojet use are often at the end of their lifespan, and not usually the same standard of plane that civilian airliners trust with their passengers. So all you teenage Scotties getting a flight to the next OVO fest on this bad boy better pray to the Six God that it doesn't fall out of the sky on some Final Destination shit.
That's a good sign. Younger the better. Be a fucked up guy to take down this plane.
This is your Captain Gaps Torbo speaking, and if you've chosen to fly with Air Drake, it's possible that you might like to purchase one of our duty-free items by heading on over to traplaw.com or hitting the merch shelf below, where you can purchase some of the finest and fieriest Traplaw merch in the game. And now,
Bacon
back
grease.
to your scheduled in-flight entertainment. While it might be missing 2020's latest safety features, what Drake's plane lacks in basic amenities, it definitely makes up for in luxury. Because Drake's big abomination in the sky is a regular share club at 69,000 feet. On board the Air Drake, we have multiple bedrooms, which I assume are filled with multiple locks on the doors so that you can get busy in peace. It's got a luxurious private living room where you can enjoy your final moments living in pure class. And of course, for entertaining, it's got a glorious cabin area, furnished to the highest standards. It's complete with wraparound couches and leather recliners, dining areas, a work area, a big TV and projector, and exquisite gold trimming. It's frankly at least 14 to 17 times more opulent than the fittings on Jeffrey Epstein's private jet. Look man, Jeff's plane is nice, Drake's is just bigger is what I'm saying. But of course, unlike Drake's collection of luxury whips, the Six God isn't about to just let this bird sit around in a hangar collecting dust. And Drizzy seems to be no stranger to putting his life on the line to shit on regular people from a great height. The plane made its maiden voyage to Turks and Caicos, where Drake was seen disembarking the plane with one other person. I assume when he got into that truck, he strangled
This is gonna be
a
the
few
hardest
baby
cop ever,
camels,
man.
just to make sure that
What
he
up,
caused
Dozen?
as much environmental devastation for one day as he possibly could. And apparently, even during the flight, Drake was truly in the spirit of things, jumping on the PA to do announcement duties, and even diss his passengers for having stinky breath.
Have a seat, please. Also, put your seatbelts on. Shout out to the pilots. Blessed flight. All you guys with your stinky breath, can you guys please get some Listerine or some gum?
Oh, come on, I expect to be insulted and berated on a Ryanair flight, but not on Air Drake. Anywho, it's clear that Drake was having a whale of a time flexing his jumbo jet. And so ever since he's got it, he's continued to push the boundaries of just how hard he can rub his private jet into normal people's faces. One such instance was doing a flyby over Toronto to celebrate the Raptors winning the championship. Not sure you should be flying that low, Drizzy. Apparently though, a month later, Cargojet had got the gaffer tape out and put Drake's plane back together in time for it to land in Toronto Sacramento in July. But
What up,
not
what
one
up?
to keep all of the dangerous flights to
Yeah, I'll
himself.
check. I'm gonna
He
check
actually
everything
made the
after.
plane to the Sacramento Kings for a pre-season trip to India. Funnily enough, an announcement that was actually greeted by groans from players themselves, who were apparently livid to
It's
have
really
found
not much
out
to
that
do.
there was
Just
no
gotta
Wi-Fi
go
on Drake's
Snkrs
black
app,
hoopty of a plane.
The Kings
enter
will be
the raffle.
traveling in luxury
At 10
tonight
o'clock.
using a Boeing
That's it.
767 belonging
Snkrs
to
app.
none other than rapper Drake. Yeah, take a look. That is Air Drake, the plane the Kings boarded tonight at Mather to take them to India. The $185 million aircraft might be luxurious, but, you know, a 20-hour flight is still a 20-hour flight. Passing the time might be a challenge, especially with one noticeable absence.
This is
Hey, there's gonna be no Wi-Fi, so I don't know. I have to like download a bunch of movies and.
I don't know. I don't know how to pass a whole day on a flight.
Yes, the Sacramento Kings
No
were
Wi-Fi.
with Drake's Sky Hoopty, which was, if anything, an interesting change of
Most
circumstance.
people like
Because up
mobile's
until this
better.
point, a lot of rappers and
What up,
people in
Raymond?
general were just simply in
Good luck,
awe
good
of
luck.
the fact that Drake had his own jumbo jet, with the likes of DJ Khaled, Rich the L,
Doesn't
and
matter
Lil
if you're
Yachty
at- on
coming out of
desktop
the
or
woodwork to
mobile.
clout suck Drake
Like I said,
hard
mobile's
and
better.
suggest that they were motivated by seeing him
But
get his own jet. But I don't
I'ma do-
necessarily think we should be impressed.
I'ma do
I
it
mean,
on
this is a
mobile. You could do
26-year-old
desktop
plane
too.
that he got for free that only flies like 30 people at a great expense to the environment. I mean, honestly, what was wrong with the slightly more humble private jet that him and his boys were flying around on in 2017?
Yo, wake up yourself, man. Stop sleeping on the plane.
But I guess that plane just wasn't big enough to fill the hole in his heart that was left when Georgia Smith dubbed him. And so in 2020, we saw Drake do whatever he could to try and salvage his credibility as a big boy baller, giving the Air Drake a designer makeover with a little help from the fashion world's favorite designer who does all of his work 10 minutes before it's due, Virgil Abloh. Yes, despite half of the world being on lockdown and unable to fly, that didn't stop Drake making a difference for Drake. He enlisted the help of Virgil Abloh to wrap
I would
his
use two
plane in
different
a wavy
cards.
nude-looking sky and
But if you don't
cloud
have
sea.
them, give it
I
a
assume
shot.
because it allows the plane to fly undetected as if it was camouflaged, allowing him and the young girls he flies with, allegedly, to keep a low profile. Hell, maybe if his pal Jeffrey Epstein had a better camouflage job on his jet, he wouldn't have had to fake his
Studio
death
doesn't
and go
work
to
as
live
good
in
as it
Bill and
used to.
Hillary's basement. Hey, I actually hear that next
So
time
weird.
Drake paints his plane, he's going to go for a cool white and blue stripe job. Now, this sky and cloud print wasn't some genius camouflage that Virgil actually came up with for Drake's plane. No, that same print was something that Virgil had already been splashing all over Louis Vuitton's latest range. Wow, it's good to see that Virgil Abloh's career has evolved to the point where he can now claim to have had two good ideas. But then again, if I was him, I personally would have designed Drake's plane like Virgil did for all of his other uninspired designs. Painted it white, just put in quote marks, Drake has a small dingus on the side of the plane, and chuck a red tag on one of the wings. Because who needs to be aerodynamic when you're flexing, baby? But let's give credit where credit is due, because Drake did continue his flexing all the way into 2020. For example, in April, offering a death ride on his clapped out old jet for charity, after being nominated by Tom Grady on the All In Challenge.
I was challenged by my brother, one of the greatest of all time, Mr. Tom Brady. Whoever wins, you'll get the chance to fly on Air Drake. I'll have the OVO package waiting for you on the plane, the Nike Care package waiting for you on the plane, fly you to LA. You'll get to come and party with us, one of our private parties at the Lila. We'll have a great time, put you up in a great hotel with whoever you choose to bring for the weekend.
Now that is a blurst prize if I ever saw one. So that's the majority of the info on Drake's plane, but it wouldn't be a certified trap lore video if I didn't have one more nugget of exclusive hip-hop lore that seems to have been forgotten by the history books. Because it would turn out that after all, this Air Drake plane was not the first Air Drake that had graced the skies. Yes, it turns out that back in 2010, there was an early version of the Air Drake where Drake had actually partnered with Richard Branson's Virgin Airlines to promote his Thank Me Later album. This was actually just a one-flight special from LA to San Francisco to Toronto in promotion of Drake's debut album, and it featured the artwork on the side.
Eric Roberts, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Drake were all part of the inaugural flight from LA to Toronto for Richard Branson's Virgin America for the Mile High Club.
10 a.m. Pacific
As
time.
part of
It's
its
10
itinerary,
a.m. Eastern
the plane
time.
stopped in San Francisco to let the California governor and San Francisco mayor Gavin Newsom off. The day was
Yeah, you really
focused
gotta
on
use
Drake
different
with the
credit
Branson
cards.
flight labeled Airtime with Drake as part of the entrepreneur's recently completed Mile High Party christening the route.
My gosh, how far our boy Drizzy from the Six has come. All the way from a humble promotional artwork on the side of a reputable airline's plane to 10 years later partnering with an obscure cargo airliner to get free use of a 23-year-old cargo plane, and then capping to everyone as if he just bought his very own jumbo jet like some kind of Canadian Dr. Evil. And look, I know a lot of you are probably thinking this guy is just hating, and yes, absolutely, I am hating. And I know it must be super handy for Drake to have his own jumbo jet, to go on tour or vacation or to states where the age of consent is lower, but really,
I
Drake,
never used
your own
PayPal.
767, I already gave you a lot of shit for that ridiculous monstrosity of a house. And now the majority of the world are unable to even leave their homes, all go on vacation, with the majority of airlines on the brink of going out of business. And who knows, you know, it could be years before regular working people are even able to experience the privilege of going to another country. And so personally, as the pilot of the Lolita, I mean Air Drake, I get those mixed up sometimes. As the sole pilot of the Air Drake, I've decided that I am going to take voluntary furlough and ground this bird for the foreseeable future. And I just hope that perhaps going into what's definitely going to be a difficult few years for everybody all over the world, that Drake maybe thinks twice about hauling a nearly 30-year-old jumbo jet around the world just for him and his cronies. Or at the very least, just try not to rub everybody's faces in it while you do it. This is your captain speaking. I just want to give a huge shout out to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. I also want to give an enormous shout out to everybody.
Always a classic. Trap Lord Ross. Man, you guys are really bugging about the same card. How many times I gotta say it? How many times I gotta say it, bro? You need 2 cards. Try it. Try it with the same one. See what happens. Where's my guy? How much time we got? Hour and a half? We're getting there. Where's my guy, company man? Now I'm gonna bore you guys. That was fun. That was a fun one, but let's see. Oh, this was super interesting about this bananas. This was the craziest shit. I was gonna start with like Nike or something like that, but this one was good. It's only 12 minutes. We got 90.
In March of 2019, I made a video about this same company. It was very business focused. I was talking about how European trade laws resulted in lower sales, raised their debt, and how they made a comeback after filing for bankruptcy in 2001. I'd say it's very much like most of the videos you'll see on this channel. But it turns out that historically, this company has been so corrupt and so controversial that many viewers thought that I was almost irresponsible for not making that the main focus of my video. It took me by surprise that, ironically, I found myself in my own little controversy because I didn't properly address their controversy.
I had no idea bananas.
I don't know if I'm explaining it right. To be honest, it's all a little confusing.
The business of bananas was so
it's really
crazy.
Not that big of a deal, but I figured I'd mention it here because it is my motivation for making
10 a.m.,
this
10 a.m.
video. If this company is so controversial that I get attacked for talking about anything outside
it's 7
of those
o'clock on the dot.
controversies, there must be some pretty terrible stuff here. Going back to the beginning, on one end we have Miner Cooper Keith. He was a businessman involved in raising cattle in Texas until his family secured this contract to build this 100-mile-long railroad in Costa Rica. It proved to be quite a project too. It took almost 20 years, there were thousands of debts, financial issues, and once it was finished, no one even wanted to ride on it. Luckily, during the lengthy construction period, he bought some banana plantations and planted all these banana trees along the tracks, partially to help feed the workers. Since the train was getting
everybody's
very few
bugging about this
passengers,
job.
he figured he could instead use it to transport those bananas, and very quickly he transformed it into solely a banana company. On the other end, we have Captain Lorenzo Baker and Andrew Preston. In 1870, Baker made a trip to Jamaica, bought 160 bunches of bananas, brought them up to New Jersey, and sold them through Preston, who was a local produce broker. It turned out to be a profitable arrangement for everyone, so they continued working together and 15 years later formed the Boston Fruit Company. Now, selling bananas can be a very sensitive business. For example, if the plantation is caught in a drought, you may not have anything
I know,
to
it's
sell. If there's a political issue
straight
in the
luck,
country
man.
or
Straight
region,
luck.
that can cause uncertainty. If you're inefficient while shipping them, they can go bad. No one wants to eat a rotten
Got
banana.
charged this phone.
In 1899,
I got 3
the two
phones ready to
companies
go.
felt that they can mitigate these risks by merging together. That combined company was called United Fruit, which as of 1990 is called Chiquita. So now we have United Fruit. It's a U.S. company, first put on the stock market in 1903, but they get their bananas from Central America. I mean, if you're looking to grow bananas, that's just the place to do it. It's hard to deny. The heat, the rain, the soil, just make them grow better there, which makes the shipping process especially important. Soon after the merger, they built this cargo ship that was refrigerated, practically a game changer. They would paint the ships white to reflect the heat and keep everything cool. Appropriately, they later became known as the Great White Fleet. Alright, on to the controversies. Banana Republics. I don't think this is a great name for the clothing store because there's a very negative meaning behind it. It's a term that's used to describe a country that's very dependent on foreign countries buying a single product from them. Typically, these countries are in Central America, and that product is bananas. See, in the early 1900s, all of a sudden, there were all these US companies trying to get bananas from that area. There were a few large banana companies emerging, but the most significant one was United Fruit. Now that they had a great shipping method, their new big concern was simply growing more and more bananas to ship. I typically don't seek out discussion about 20th century Central American politics, but it's a big part of this. When United Fruit was somewhat new and growing in the early 1900s, these countries generally did not have great ethical leaders. It was common for these governments to make deals where the banana
this one's
company
ready. I'm
would
ready. 3
build
phones, I'm ready.
infrastructures such as telephone lines in exchange for either land or tax breaks, both of which would help them grow because those tax breaks would translate to higher profits, which in many cases were used to buy more land. After years of this, United Fruit, along with the other banana companies, would have significant control over the country's land, telephones, railroads, all of it, which made them banana republics. As you can imagine, the treatment of the workers at these plantations was questionable. That's a sketchy one, hard to confirm the details of it, but it is connected to another controversy. This one has been labeled the Banana Massacre. It occurred in Colombia in 1928 when the banana pickers who worked
Checking my email for
Fruit
some raffles or
organized
something,
and went
but
on
nothing.
strike.
Damn.
Their demands seem pretty reasonable to me, just typical stuff. 8-hour work days, 6-day work weeks, higher wages. United Fruit
D
was doing
Hornblower,
this
I
thing where they
fucking
would
love
pay
you,
their
bro.
workers with food coupons
It's no hard
instead of
feelings. We're gonna
cash, and
figure it
the
all
workers
out.
Didn't like it. Outsiders were coming out to support them, and it was turning into
Thank
this
you, though,
huge
man.
political thing. United Fruit
I hope
was
you
getting
cook
bad
today, bro.
publicity, losing money, and they
I hope
just
everybody
wanted it
cooks.
to end. But instead of simply
This
giving
is-
in to their demands, they asked
this is
the
gonna be
U.S.
crazy.
government to send some soldiers to break it up. The Colombian government didn't like the idea of the U.S. interfering, so they took it upon themselves to take action. Very excessive action. The details of what happened are debated, but the end result was Colombian soldiers firing into crowds of strikers, killing somewhere between 50 and 2,000 people. My gosh, it was just a crazy
This is
event
crazy, right?
involving United Fruit.
All for
But
bananas.
moving ahead from the incident, by the 1940s, United Fruit had a huge supply of bananas. They had a decent enough way to transport them to the U.S. with their Great White Fleet, but the missing element was an effective way to sell them. Today, we would just think, how hard is it to sell bananas? Everyone buys them all the time. Well, United Fruit is kind of the reason they're so popular today. In 1944, as a genius marketing move, they started branding their bananas under the name Chiquita, and to go along with it, they introduced an aggressive ad campaign featuring Miss Chiquita. It became a widely known character and the song because it was played hundreds of times a day on the radio. The idea of it was to promote not just the Chiquita brand, but bananas in general. They were by no means a popular fruit, so they set out to inform everyone about the health benefits and the convenience of
Which
bananas.
sizes will have the most stock? Man, I don't know. I want to know
It was
too.
very successful. They
Salsa
now had
Wassa
the
cooked.
supply
I know,
and the
dude.
demand.
He's
They were looking
legend.
good. I mention all this because
Legend.
there was a bump in the road forming right about the same time. That leads me to
From
their next
Just Blaze,
controversy.
Honduran, United Fruit
Jacobo
Company
Arbenes.
straight raped
This one
Hondurans for
takes
their
place
natural
in
resources.
Guatemala. Most
Yeah,
definitely one of the
that's what I
banana
learned when I saw this. I was
By
like,
the
what?
1950s, 1960s, United Fruit
Like-
controlled 42% of their land, in addition to their telephone system and most of the
Insane.
railroad tracks. It was the
like the
Guatemalan
Banana
leaders
Mafia.
that allowed it to happen, mostly Manuel Estrada and
Jig your
Jorge
address? You could
Ubico. Well,
jig it a
in
little.
1944, coincidentally, the same year the Chiquita brand was introduced and sales
Yer,
were growing,
what up?
the Guatemalan Revolution
Good morning, good morning,
was
good morning.
taking place. As part of it, Jorge Ubico was forced out of office, and the country was now set to hold fair democratic elections, which was not great for United Fruit. Their second elected leader, Jacobo Arbenz, became a real issue for them. He started something called Decree 900. It was a policy where the government would force large landowners, like United Fruit, to sell their uncultivated land to the government, where it would then be distributed to smaller farmers, essentially taking from the rich to give to the poor. United Fruit felt that the amount that they were being offered for it was unreasonable, nor did they really want to sell it anyway. So in an attempt to prevent this from happening, they claimed
It's all
that it
cooking
was
size
communism.
17, yeah.
These claims were made to the
What?
press and to
Yeah,
President
that's OW.
Eisenhower. And they
It's
put
a
a spin
W.
on it, saying Arbenz was a communist and slowly trying to turn the country into that direction. I'll say that there
8 to
was
10
an
of the
argument
fewest.
that could be made. On top of redistributing
Yeah, I don't know.
the
It's so
land,
hard to
he was
know.
allowing the communists of Guatemala to be fairly represented. But in reality, the land redistribution may have been necessary. I mean, 70% of it was controlled by 2% of the landowners. Also, only about 0.1% of the population identified as communists, so probably not a huge threat. But you have to remember that this was during a time when the US was freaked out about communism, so any suspicion was oftentimes met with an overly aggressive response. Like what happened here, the Eisenhower administration utilized the CIA to perform an operation that ultimately caused Arbenz to resign from office and flee the country. He remained on the move until 1970 when he was found drowned in a bathtub. No one knows exactly
Damn.
what happened with all that, but he
Bananas,
was known
yo.
to have a terrible
What up,
alcohol
Andres?
problem at that point.
We cooking.
The bigger consequence of all this, of course, was the decades-long civil war that
nah,
followed in
it's at
Guatemala.
10 o'clock on the
So,
dot.
just to summarize this one, Guatemala had a new leader
What up,
that
Brian?
enacted policies that United Fruit did not like. In response, they complained to President Eisenhower, who then had him removed, sparking decades of political unrest in the country. That is hard to follow, but I do have more. In the 1960s, United Fruit was concerned that they themselves were becoming too much like a banana republic. They were very reliant on bananas, so they set out to diversify. In 1966, they bought A&W,
Like
the
what?
root beer brand that's famous for their soft drinks and fast food restaurants. The next year, they bought
I've never
Baskin
been to an
Robbins,
A&W
both of which, by the way,
restaurant.
are previous topics of videos on this channel, and both were later sold. The reason that they were sold is because in 1970, this guy Eli Black bought United Fruit and made some big changes. He merged it together with his existing meat company, changed the name to United Brands, and set them on a course of dropping their other existing brands. It was a big change, and personally, I don't trust someone who would want to buy this company, and maybe I shouldn't, because in 1975, more crazy stuff happened. The death of the CEO. In February of that year, he died when he jumped out of the 44th floor of a building in New York, broke the window with his briefcase, jumped out, and died. At the time, it was speculated that he was overworked. The business was having tough times, the banana export taxes were cutting into their profits, he was putting in 18-hour days to counter it, and the stress got to him. But a few weeks after it happened, it was found that he had authorized a bribe. United Brands paid the president of Honduras over $1 million to
Honduras.
reduce those export taxes that were giving them so much trouble, and the press indicated that there were other similar bribes as well. Just putting the pieces together, one would think that the two events are related. But either way, the facts are, within a month's time in 1975, their CEO jumped out of a window, and it was uncovered that the CEO was bribing foreign officials, both of which are very controversial. Probably the biggest one of recent times was when they did business with terrorists. They admitted to it when they said they paid about $1 $1.7 million between 1997 and 2004 to the Colombian organization, the AUC, who was involved in drug trafficking and was recognized as a terrorist organization by the United States. They said that they made the payments in return for protection of their workers, and in 2007 agreed to a $25 million fine because of it. Supporting terrorism is a controversial move.
Crazy, bro.
Are you ever going to look at this company the same
Yo.
way again? You just hate to think of all this when you
Bro,
look at
Chiquita.
that blue sticker. And trust me,
Banana
there
Mafia.
is more. The list could just about go on forever.
What up,
Not
Brian?
Every little thing, but I'd say these are the most notable. If I failed to mention something that you think is significant,
What up, Daniel?
let me know about it. But please be kind about it. I know this is a topic that people feel strongly about,
Crazy.
and I understand it, but
There was ones on Nike though and stuff. I forget where it was. This guy's got a video on like every single business. Oh shit. Oh shit. Bam. Boom.
today's video is brought to you by Audible. Go to Audible.
Ben & Jerry's.
Ben & Jerry's makes some high
Hit that like
quality
button. Hit that
and
subscribe
it doesn't
button.
come cheap either. Here, okay, this will be fun. Let's pretend you're on The Price is Right. All right, first item up for bid, this 48-ounce container of Breyer's brand Snickers ice cream. Now with 10% more Snickers. You gotta keep that in mind. Is the answer in your head? Okay.
Damn, I
Actual
want some ice
retail
cream.
price, or at least the price they charge at my local Walmart, is $3.98. Now, the next and final item up for bid is this 16-ounce container of Ben & Jerry's brand Cherry Garcia. It's in your head? Okay. The price it sells for at my local Walmart is $4.28. Alright, I think that's enough prices right. I'm no Drew Carey. But think about that. The Breyer's container was the cheaper of the two, despite being 3 times larger. So how does Ben & Jerry's justify that price? And I already told you, they make some high quality ice cream. I'm not just saying that. The IDFA actually defines 4 qualities of ice cream. They generally have to do with the quality of ingredients and fat content and overrun.
That's
of the
gonna
ice
give us
cream.
good luck.
Overrun refers to the amount of air that's in it. Less air means less overrun and higher quality ice cream. On the low end of quality, we have economy, ice cream that meets required overrun and generally sells for a lower price than regular ice cream. Next, there is regular. Then there's premium, ice cream that tends to have low overrun and higher fat
Who knew?
content than
Who
regular
knew?
ice cream, and the manufacturer uses higher quality ingredients. Then at the top, and I like this name, we have super premium, all one word, and it means ice cream that tends
That's
to
the
have
next
very
Easy God
low
membership.
overrun
Super
and high
premium.
fat content.
I
And
like
the
that.
manufacturer uses best quality ingredients. Ben & Jerry's is categorized into this group. That's why it costs so much, and that's why it has considerably more calories than most of the others. That's their positioning in the market. They compete with all of the other ice cream brands, but their biggest concerns are the other super premium brands. Häagen-Dazs would be the one that stands out the most to me. Ben & Jerry's is easily one of the biggest super premium brands out there, but also just one of the biggest brands
Yo,
of
this
ice
happened
cream
for
in
a
general.
reason.
They're sold in supermarkets
What up,
across
Cam?
the United States.
What up,
They
Alex?
have these scoop shops all over the place, and it's sold in a bunch of other countries too. They're estimated to have the 3rd largest share in the U.S. ice cream market. Almost 7% of all the ice cream sold in the U.S. is sold by them. So I want to talk about how
Wow.
they did it, how they got this big. I think this is an important story to hear because it's relatable. If you're looking to start a business or do something that just seems really big and intimidating, this is good to hear. It shows how 2 men who started with next to nothing and knew next to nothing can create something so big. The business goes back to 1978, and not surprising, the 2 men that started it were named Ben and Jerry. Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfield, neither of which had any experience in the ice cream business. Ben was a craft teacher, and Jerry was a lab technician. Neither
Need
one of
this
them was
luck.
very happy or successful in their field.
Yo,
But
maybe
I'd
they're
say
gonna ask
something
a
good
question
came of
on
it. So now
checkout.
Ben and Jerry's is known for all their
Is
creative
it premium,
names and
super
flavors,
premium,
oat of this
economy,
world, and
or regular
truffle
ice cream?
kerfuffle, and
Super
urban
premium.
bourbon. Well, I'll point out how a craft teacher must possess some creativity, and a lab technician must possess
Oh,
some
yeah.
science
Oh,
knowledge.
yeah, bro, gun.
It sounds like a good pairing to create some of these crazy ice cream flavors. But despite knowing almost nothing about ice cream and having almost no money, these two had the idea of starting an ice cream business. In an attempt to gain some kind of ice cream knowledge, they each paid $5 to enroll in a correspondence course about ice cream making at Penn State. A correspondence course is essentially an online course, but this was in the late 70s, so everything was done by mail. To be clear about that, Ben and Jerry of Ben & Jerry's, two of the biggest names in the industry, weren't ice cream prodigies of a master ice cream maker. They didn't start in their parents' ice cream shop at a young age. Their foundation of knowledge came from a $5 correspondence course that they took in their late 20s. They didn't even seem that passionate about it at first. Their initial plan was to make bagels, but ultimately learned that there was less capital required to make ice cream.
I'm cooking today.
After they gained at least a basic understanding of the process, the next
what about
step was
the
to
G?
get some money together and find a location.
Yeah, we had
They
to
were
get
able to pull together
educated.
$12,000 and were able to obtain a loan for an additional $6,000. And with that $18,000, they were able to convert an old gas station into an ice cream shop. The
I didn't
city
watch
they
this
chose
one.
Was Burlington, Vermont, primarily because
$5
the University
online
of
course,
Vermont was
right?
there, and they thought that a large population of college students made it a good place to sell ice cream. And that's how Ben
College
& Jerry's
kids.
existed for the next 2 years. In 1980, they started supplying local restaurants with their ice cream, and later that year, they rented out an old factory and started producing pints of ice cream to be sold in stores, which is probably how most of us know them today. The next year, they franchised a second location, and you could see how the slow growth was happening here, but this was still a very local brand. Essentially no reach outside of the Burlington, Vermont area. On August 10th, 1981 is when many people from the rest of the country first learned about Ben & Jerry's.
What up, Toby?
This was the cover
Good
of
morning,
Time
man.
magazine, and inside of it was an article that not only mentioned them, but spoke very
They actually
highly
dropped
of
the
them.
dunks at
They
that
immediately took
original
advantage of
location.
this
Oh
publicity
shit.
and began distributing their pints all across the New England area and slowly increased their presence geographically through the rest of the 1980s. By 1985, they were providing ice cream to most of the East Coast. In 1986, they made a deal where a Midwest ice cream company called Dreyer's started manufacturing and distributing Ben & Jerry's in their markets. By 1988, they were opening their scoop shops outside of the United States. They helped fund all of this expansion through a public stock offering in the mid-80s, and here's what their sales looked like during this time.
Damn.
Obviously growing tremendously every year and actually doubling year to year through most of it. By the early 90s, their sales were well over $100 million. In April of 2000, Ben & Jerry's, who had been their own company since they started over 20 years earlier, was bought by Unilever. And this is funny, on the exact same day, Unilever also announced that they were acquiring a very different brand called Slim Fast. But anyway, the price of Ben & Jerry's ended up being $326 million for the company that had $237 million in sales the year before. It was a bit of a strange deal for multiple reasons, but it's said that the Ben & Jerry's team was less concerned with the monetary price and more concerned with creating terms that would help maintain Ben & Jerry's original mission. For example, one of the terms was that Unilever had to continue buying milk from Vermont dairy farmers at above market prices. I guess Unilever even agreed to pay for their legal fees if they failed to live up to this social mission. Despite the unusual conditions, this was an attractive acquisition for Unilever. See, Unilever already owned a lot of other brands that you'd recognize, including other ice cream brands, such as, well, Breyers. So when I did that Price is Right comparison in the beginning, it was actually between two brands owned by the same company. Since they already had experience in the ice cream business, they thought that Ben & Jerry's would be a good addition. And consider the fact that at this point,
happened
Ben & Jerry's didn't
hour
have
and
much of an
almost 2
international
hours.
presence. So that
Almost
was
3
a
hours
potential
ago.
opportunity to further grow the brand using their existing distribution channels. Plus, as I said, these super premium brands exist in somewhat of a different market from the traditional brands. So that was their chance to get involved in that. And to this day, Ben & Jerry's still operates under Unilever. And I want to mention one more thing. Ty Warner. He has nothing to do with Ben & Jerry's, but he is the creator of Beanie Babies, another successful business that started from next to nothing.
Forgot about those.
For multiple reasons, the ethicality of Ty Warner is sometimes questioned. When I made a video about him and his business, I asked the viewers what they thought. Was he an unethical person or simply a genius business?
We gotta watch that
I got
one.
so many responses, similar to Millhouse's over here, essentially saying that the two are the same thing, saying it's impossible to be a great business person without being unethical. Now, I realize nobody's perfect, but I think Ben & Jerry's is a great answer to that. It shows how to grow a business while maintaining your values. I recommend you go to their website and click on this value section to get a fuller understanding of what they stand for and what they're trying to accomplish, but here's a few responsible, ethical things they've done over the years that stood out to me. Up until 1994, they had the salary cap in place, saying that the highest paid person working for the company
Hey, Julia.
would make more than 5 times the amount of the lowest
Good
paid
morning.
person. So, for example, if there's someone there making $20,000 a year, there's no one there making more than $100,000 a year. In 1985, that public stock offering, in an attempt to help their community, it was only offered to residents of Vermont. Back then, you couldn't buy any Ben & Jerry's stock unless you lived in Vermont.
What?
In 1986, they committed
How?
that 7.5% of their pre-tax profits would be donated to their charitable foundation, and that's something that Unilever was forced to continue through the terms of that acquisition. And just consider the terms of that acquisition. Ben & Jerry were more concerned with the new owner continuing things like this than they were with the money that they were receiving. There is some debate surrounding that whole deal and questions regarding whether or not Unilever is carrying out the values to the degree that they should be, but the original Ben & Jerry's company obviously fought for it. All of these things can be seen as hindering to the company's growth. Reinvesting that 7.5% of profits would be more helpful than donating it. If they didn't have that salary cap, maybe they can attract better management, which is actually why they eventually got rid of it. And just consider some of the smaller things, like using cage-free eggs. It all comes at a cost, but in return, they've gained this positive public image. I think Ben & Jerry's is proof that you can grow a business while maintaining a strict set of values. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of Ben & Jerry's? I found the story of these two guys to be inspirational.
yes.
Unhappy and unsuccessful in their
You
career.
could enter on the
They
website.
decided to make a change, starting with no experience, no tangible skills, no money, not even a clear vision, yet somehow pulling it all together and making it work. If you had told me about that initial Ben & Jerry's ice cream shop in 1978, I'd probably say it's not likely to succeed. But here we are, over 40 years later, and it's one of the biggest names in the industry. And they did all of it while maintaining their values and keeping a mindset of helping others. Also, what's your favorite flavor? I'm sure it's something crazy. Top flavor of 2018? Half-baked. It's their cookie dough flavor. So any thoughts you have about these two guys, the business they created, or how they did it, leave them in the comments.
Chunky
I'd
Dunky
like to hear what you
2020.
have to say. Today's sponsor is Audible, which gives me the perfect opportunity to recommend this book called Ben & Jerry's Double Dip Capitalism. It's written and narrated this behind it, originals, which you can't hear anywhere else. To take advantage of the offer, simply go to audible.com/companyman or text companyman to 500.
Yo, that was so dope that we just found that. That was so dope. Hot Topic. I think there's still a Hot Topic. Oh shit, the Beanie Babies one. Alright, I'm kind of interested.
This video is sponsored
How
by
can Beanie Babies be unethical?
But at many points, you're going to say, or
Maybe because you're
this
targeting
fad for
children?
the first time here. Maybe you only know Beanie Babies for what they are today, or maybe you've never even heard of them. This is the group that I'm excited for because you're.
Nah, I don't really feel like hearing about Beanie Babies. There was one about Nike and there's one about Adidas. There's one about Twinkies. I watched that one. Am I on his channel? Company man. Nike. We're going to keep it rolling from Ben & Jerry's to Nike. I don't know. I know he did one on Adidas. Oh, Foot Locker. Ah, that's the one I watched. I don't know if he did one on Nike. That's crazy. Foot Locker I watched. This was good. This was good. What up, Cliff?
Foot Locker. It's easily one of the biggest shoe stores out there. The company
I
owns
hope you had a good Memorial Day too, bro. Happy
3,221
Memorial Day.
stores under different names, including Foot Locker and
100
Champ,
likes?
both of
Nah,
which
nobody
I see
likes my
every
videos.
time I go to the mall. The thing that I associate with them is that logo and then the employees wearing that same shirt. I don't know if it's the coolest uniform, but it does give them identity. And
It kinda
that's always
is.
good. Maybe that's one of the reasons that they've grown so large. But I have something
Kinda
a little
is the
better.
coolest
I'm
uniform.
gonna give my guarantee that the history of Foot Locker and the way they've grown over the years is not what you would expect. It all goes way back. It gets a little complicated at times, but stick with me because this is one of the craziest business stories you'll ever hear. George R. Kinney, you're gonna like this guy. See, his father, Jeremiah Kinney, was not a great businessman. Way back in the 1870s, when George was a little kid, his father owned this general store in a small town in New York. Now, I say he wasn't a good businessman because he was letting all his customers buy things on credit. You can kind of see where this is going. Too many of them ended up not paying, Jeremiah went pretty deep into debt, filed for bankruptcy, and then died unexpectedly. I don't know the exact structure or the court agreements involved here, but it ultimately left his family with an incredible amount of debt. When his son, George Kinney, was a teenager, he felt the responsibility to support his family and pay off some of these debts. He left home and found work in this large shoe factory where he would spend the next 10 years. I think seeing how careless his father was with money and what it led to caused George to be extra careful with it. Over those 10 years, he always sent money back home so he can help support everyone and lower those debts while still managing to save a little bit. But more importantly, over those 10 years, he was learning about the shoe business. In 1894, when he was 28 years old, he was presented with an opportunity where he could buy his own shoe store. He had some money saved up, some knowledge of the industry, so he bought it. Believe it or not, the business that was started when he bought that store can be considered the start of the business that's led to Foot Locker, but it took a lot to get there. A few different ways George Kinney was able to be successful and expand his business. Well, for one, he targeted lower class customers, which meant the shoes had to be sold at a low price, which meant he had to obtain them at a low cost. His method was to buy them directly from the factories in large quantities, cutting out any middlemen and getting that bulk purchase discount. He did his best to keep a lot of those shoes under the $1 price point, which I know this was the late 1800s, but even at that point, it was still pretty reasonable. Also, at this point, we know that George Kinney was careful with his money, not a fan of extending credit to his customers. I would argue that his strict policy of only accepting cash may have been important. These customers were mostly lower income, that does come with a higher credit risk, so his avoidance of the whole thing may have kept him out of trouble. He then started opening more stores. He would find managers that were willing to buy a percentage of ownership at the store that they were managing, which sped up the process. By 1916, after 22 years of business, they had 56 locations, making them the largest footwear chain in America. In 1919, George Kinney died, but Kinney shoes continued on, growing faster than ever throughout the 1920s. They bought a bunch of their own factories, which lowered their reliance on outside purchasing, and the higher control of costs actually motivated them into rebranding as more of a middle-income family shoe store. They quickly grew to 360 locations in 38 states. Lack of sales during the Great Depression in the 1930s set them back. The lack of available resources during World War II in the 1940s set them back. But then in the 1950s, they got right back on track. By 1955, their sales, income, stock price were all hitting all-time highs.
People on the go to Kinney for shoes.
They were doing so well, they caught the attention of this slightly larger competitor called Brown Shoe Company out of St. Louis. The next year, Brown bought Kinney, resulting in a very large shoe store that the Department of Justice felt was too large. So they filed a lawsuit, claiming that it created a monopoly over the shoe industry. After years of legal battles, in 1962,
what up, Charlie?
there was a somewhat famous Supreme Court decision siding with the Department of Justice. They said that the company was indeed too big and powerful, especially considering Kinney shoes had just about doubled in size during these court battles. So the following year, Brown sold Kinney for the price of about $40 million to a different company that was actually considerably larger, but they weren't specifically a shoe company, so it was
basically,
a little different.
yeah, then
the reason behind all of this can get
they sold it to this Woolsworth.
That could be its own discussion, but athletic shoes were suddenly in high
And then
demand,
the Jordan
which
thing.
would certainly help explain
That's
why
like,
the athletic shoe division called
once Jordans
Foot
blew up, then
Locker
they sold
was doing so much
ton of
better
casual
than the rest of the
shoes.
business. In fact, Foot Locker
And they bought
accounted for
Champs.
as high as 20% of all
What
the
up, what
name
up?
brand athletic footwear sold in the U.S. in the 1980s. They continued adding locations. They started Kids Foot Locker in 1986, Champs Sports a couple years later. Throughout the 1990s, Woolworth stores just continued swirling down the drain. In 1995, they decided to split Kinney into an athletic group, which included Foot Locker and Champs, and a specialty footwear group that included the Kinney shoe stores, effectively splitting Foot Locker and Kinney after 21 years together. I think you can guess which division was bigger and more successful. By 1997, the athletic group totaled almost 3,000 stores, whereas the specialty group totaled 1,200. Also in that year, Woolworth stores were still hanging on. There were just under 1,000 of them, less than half of them in the United States, and those in the United States closed soon after. There was a lot happening with the Woolworth company at this time. time, but I think we can see where it's headed. By 2001, they had become almost entirely focused on athletic shoes, with Foot Locker being the center of it. So much so that they chose to change the name of the whole company to Foot Locker. So there we have it, and I have to say, what a strange path to get where they are today. A traditional shoe company and a retail company, both of which started in the 1800s, combined and effectively failed, and the dust that remains from the whole ordeal exists today in the form of Foot Locker. Here's what I think it comes down to. Simply, times changed, and it wasn't a good thing for Woolworth or Kinney Shoe Store.
It's crazy Foot Locker goes back to the 1800s.
The stuff that they were selling became outdated. I'm gonna go ahead and say, luckily, they started this comparatively much smaller chain of stores called Foot Locker. I don't want to disrespect the management over there at the time. Obviously, they must have seen some demand for athletic shoes.
What up, Twitch?
I refuse to believe that they predicted how big they would get. But again, luckily, when that demand did grow, they were in a perfect position to take advantage of it. In this one instance, the changing times actually worked to their advantage. Since in the 1980s and 1990s, Foot Locker became their only real moneymaker, they were almost forced to keep investing in it. I'd say the fact that it existed just before the industry exploded, combined with the fact that an unbelievably large company filled with resources was becoming heavily reliant on it, is a pretty solid explanation of how Foot Locker got so big. If you were wondering how they've grown from that point, well, they really haven't. Not the Foot Locker stores, anyway. Looking at the number of locations in 2019 compared to back then in 2001, it's actually shrunk a bit. 200 fewer Foot Lockers, 600 fewer lady Foot Lockers. They really strayed away from that. And Kids Foot Locker and Champs are somewhat similar, but I definitely wouldn't say that they've grown much in this range. However, the revenue for the entire company has almost doubled. I would identify the reason behind it as potentially higher same-store sales, inflation of course, and they've expanded their business beyond Foot Locker and Champs. Notably, their 2004 acquisition of 350 Foot Action stores from Footstar for $160 million, and their 2013 acquisition of a similar German store called Runner's Point for $94 million. So even though the company has progressed and grown over this time, I wouldn't say that the Foot Locker stores that we all associate with the brand have done very much. Let me know in the comments, was this anything like what you were expecting to hear? It's just such a complex situation. What would you even consider their technical starting date? You can argue that it was 1879 with Woolworth, 1894 with Kinney, or 1974 with Foot Locker. I kind of treated this video like it was 1894 with Kinney since they did start Foot Locker, but admittedly it was kind of the way that worked best when telling the story. And finally, do you agree? Does this explain how Foot Locker got so big, or do you think there's other significant parts that I failed to address?
Alright, story of Foot Locker. How much time we got? We got 1 hour. We got 1 hour. Cook Gang. I'm gonna restart the stream. Alright? Hold up, let me